Hello and welcome. Russ Rodgers here, this time with some thoughts on the different options you have as a bass player these days. A lot of players starting out will wonder if they should start on 4, 5, or even 6-string bass. Or if they already play 4-string, they may wonder if they should get a 5 or 6-string. I have even had students who want to end up playing a 5 or 6, but think it might be easier to start on a 4-string first. I think the most important thing to consider when making this decision is to think about what kind of music you will end up playing. If you're playing music that was originally recorded and performed on 4-string, and this is all you want to do, I see no advantage or reason to switch to playing to a 5 or 6-string. Playing jazz, however, would probably be the exception here. In a lot of music that is popular today, the low notes of the 5 and 6-string bass are all over the place. So if you want to play these songs on a 4-string, you will have to play the higher versions of these notes, which would probably not sound as good. Now I'd like to show you some differences between the 4, 5, and 6-string bass. The first thing I would like to show you is the string relationships between the 4, 5, and 6-string bass. I'll be using my 6-string to show these differences. First, the 4-string on the 6-string will be the middle 4 strings, the E, A, D, and G. When you have a 5-string bass, generally what happens is you add the low B string. And then on the 6-string bass, you add the high C. In some situations on 5-string, they will have E, A, D, and G, and then a high C, or the B, E, A, D, and G. And another, on 6-string basses, I have seen them tune like guitars, where they'll have E, A, D, G, B, and E. But the general setup for 6-string bass players, especially for people who've been playing bass and used to the intervals of force between the open strings, it will be B, E, A, D, G, and C. Now I'd like to show you the different octave ranges between the 4, 5, and 6-string bass. Starting with your first finger on the G on the E string, going up to the B on the E string in these 5 frets. So if I play a low G and then go up to the G string on the 7th fret, I have an octave and a half range. On the 5 string, we have a complete 2 octaves in one range of the bass. So if I'm on my low D string, 3rd fret on the B string, going up to the D on the 7th fret of the G, I have a complete full 2 octaves in one fingering position. On the 6th string, I add another half an octave. So if I start again on my low D and go up to the high G on the C string. So with the 6-string bass having a full 2.5 octaves in one range in a fingering position can have extreme advantages, and especially in reading situations to where you don't want to be moving your left hand around, that you can keep your hand in one playing position and keep your eyes on the music. Now I'd like to show you some different places to play the same bass line in a 4-string position, and then why you might want to take it to a 5-string position using the low B string. If I'm doing an old R&B bass line starting on the G, on the 3rd fret of the E string, in the lower positions of the bass, the arm can fatigue a little bit staying down there a long time. So you might want to change that position from the 3rd fret on the E string to the 8th fret on the B string and play the same line with the same fingering. This will make it easier for the left hand to stay in one position for a long time. Also, you'll notice that the notes sound thicker, and you might want to beef your sound to your notes in the bass line, which can be achieved by playing the same line with the same fingering on the lower strings of the bass. Another advantage to the 6th string is being able to do tight voicings with chords. You'll be able to sound a lot like a guitar player, getting 9 chords, 13s, with much more clarity than you would on a 5-string bass or even a 4. And you can even get tight voicings with clashes between the notes that will work in a way that they will not work on 5 and 6 string bass, will not work on 4-string bass. This is Rodgers, and thanks for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful in showing you the differences in 4, 5, and 6 string bass. Don't forget to check out my free and premium videos on freebassguitarvideos.com, and we'll see you next time.